Hello family, Kevin Cosmo here. Just a quick message about what the true goal of all healthcare professionals really ought to be. It's to put ourselves out of business. I just had 2 clients graduate, as it were, who don't need my help anymore, and that's the goal. It's a wonderful feeling to know that someone feels confident taking care of their own health. It's great to know that someone has recovered their health and can now maintain it for a lifetime of well-being. That really should be the goal of all healthcare professionals, which is, I guess, why I chose Doctor of Osteopathy as my path forward into doctoring. A.T. Still, the founder of osteopathic practice, conceptualized it with a backdrop understanding that the body, through proper care, through proper movement, through proper function, would already maintain its own health. And that if proper function degraded, that hands could be a very useful tool in moving the body and aiding that intelligence into restoring health. But if that, if you're putting your hands on and correcting someone's function or movement, and then they go off and perform ill function and ill movement again, the same problem comes back around again. And so it must be maintained through a healthy diet, through proper movement, through proper environmental factors. And I think this might be why some bad name comes to things like chiropractic or other manual forms of manipulation, where the patient goes in thinking they're going to get a treatment, and yet they don't realize they have to maintain this treatment, this function, this structure when they go home through their environment, through their lifestyle factors. Currently, doctors have trained patients to expect doctors to solve their problems for them, whether it be through pills, surgery, or whatever form of treatment. And yet the major influence in the patient's disease is the patient's lifestyle, the patient's environmental factors that they're exposed to day in and day out. Those are the major influencers. And so the truth of it is that the person or the patient has all the cards on in their hand that allows them to affect their situation, and yet they're giving them all the power over to the doctor. And so this leaves the patient feeling quite weak and leaves the doctor and the medical establishment appearing quite strong. It reminds me of the story of either teaching a man to plant a mango tree or just giving a man a mango. You can give a man a mango and he'll eat for that day, but if you teach him to plant a tree and maintain an orchard, he'll eat for a lifetime. He can feed many others. And so if we teach people to maintain their own health, they can go off and maintain it for themselves, teach it to others, and spread that. If we just palliate them and mitigate symptoms, we don't really free them to do much of anything. Even the terminology used by the doctoring profession rather gives away the perspective they take on their patients, such as non-compliant patients. This gives the kind of parental role for the doctor rather than the partner role, and saying the patient chose a different path or the patient chose to ignore my advice. I much rather want a partner relationship rather than the parent-child relationship that seems to be going on in current medical practice. A patient is on equal par, and the patient ought to have full understanding of the benefits and risks of any potential treatment, and often ought to know of alternative treatments that perhaps aren't offered by the medical practice, but could still allow the patient some effect as well. My goal as a physician is not to have my patients on pills or treatments for a lifetime. My goal is to have my patients understand the tenets of health so that they can build and maintain their health for a lifetime. My goal is to use the least invasive procedures possible. My goal is to have my patients live nobly. Living nobly means not having the body degrade any faster than it needs to. Not just living long, but living well. And living well means being active, being hearty, happy, resilient, fully engaged with community and all of life. If you'd like to help me in any way achieve this goal of becoming a doctor and practicing this way, I'd be so grateful for your help. You can help me over at hiergyparenting.com/donate. And if you'd like my help in achieving your goals, I'd be happy to help. That is the whole point of me becoming a doctor, is to help people have healthier lives. So I'd be happy to help. I have my coaching. As I said, I have a couple spots opened up. Go to hiergyparenting.com/coaching. Otherwise, just keep watching these videos, applying the information, and you can get quite healthy if you understand the concepts of health. It's in your hands. Until the next video, live joyously, live passionately, family.